It is the Flow Friday Sports Show. Time to talk all things AFLW. We've got our second Port Adelaide AFLW star on the line. Joining me is Alex Ballard. She's a star of the Port Adelaide AFLW side, and she's played an integral role in their first season in the competition. Great to be with you, Alex. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Going very well indeed. Now, just talk us through the season in general. It's obviously been a bit of a struggle at times, Alex, but obviously the club's going to be forgiven for that, given it's the first ever chapter of the club in the AFLW. So your personal sort of transition into the team and how the side's performed overall, and the great experiences you've had, particularly walking out in front of that massive Adelaide Oval crowd for the Adelaide Crows Port Adelaide game a few weeks back. Just tell us about all the highs so far.
Yeah, so obviously we haven't been getting the wins on the board that we would have liked, but as you said, we are a new side, and we are just still trying to continue that connection and growth and the relationships with each other and on and off field. But in saying that, there's been so many highs, such as like the first home game at Alberton. Obviously, the showdown. You know, even thinking about the crowd now, it gives you chills. It was insane, and I'm hoping for like many more showdowns like that to come. But and obviously the first win against Sydney, that was really cool as well. So there's been lows and there's been highs for any footy season, but I know going into next year we'll continue our development with each other.
We'll come back to talking about you on a personal front in a moment, Alex, but let's just switch our attention to the current situation. So St Kilda on the weekend, both sides haven't been really sort of at their best in the last few weeks, but obviously the motivation has to be that their form hasn't been great either. So this is a massive opportunity to progress on the ladder a little bit, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. We go into any game thinking we can win it, and there's no different this week as well. But we'll go over to Melbourne and do our usual prep and do our usual review against them, and we certainly won't underestimate them. They've been an established side, so they have that connection that sometimes we don't have, being a new side. So we'll continue our development and try to play our brand of footy, which is like hot, contested, high pressure tackling footy, and we'll go from there. We have full faith that we can bring the W home.
What have you sort of made of them in your pre-game preparations? Obviously, we know that at their best, they can go up against the best. We saw that against Collingwood a few weeks ago, where they were neck and neck with Collingwood and actually dominated them in periods of the game. So obviously, it won't be an easy game. What do you sort of make of the opposition going into it?
Yeah, so they have lots of star players that we will focus on and, look at their strengths and look at their weaknesses and hopefully be able to highlight them and take advantage of them. But, like as I said, we do our review and we see like what their game plan is. We know that their forwards sort of flood our back line and, little things like that. So we'll reassess and, really try to bring our brand of footy.
And just tell us what it's been like at the club this year off the field, Alex. What's the sort of culture been like? Obviously, never easy to sort of just assemble a whole roster together overnight, as has sort of been the case. So, are you sort of really close off the field, and what's it all like behind the scenes?
Yeah, we are. It's actually it's incredible. A lot of us had never met before about 5 months ago. So to how close we've gotten now is really incredible. And as we are still continuing that development of our culture and connection, but we are all really close, and we have, despite not winning, the trainings are still high intensity and they're still really fun as well, and everybody has a really good attitude. And we all have a really good willingness to learn. And I think as a new side and not winning, it can be difficult to, still stick together. But that is certainly what we're doing, and we're not getting disheartened or anything like that from the losses or anything like that. And obviously having people like Juliet Haslam and Rachel Spawn who have just done an amazing job in developing the program in such a short space of time. Like full credit to them that they seriously spoil us at Port, and I couldn't be more grateful, and the girls couldn't be more grateful for what the club has given us so far.
Alex, it'd be remiss of me not to ask you about the experience that you've had of being alongside Erin Phillips. So what does she bring, and particularly off the field with her sort of mentoring side, how good has it been for you to sort of learn off her? Yeah,
it's been amazing. Like, I still sometimes pitch myself even just training and playing alongside her because she is literally the GOAT of the AFLW. So, but off field she is like so humble, and you can chat to her about anything, and you could ask her about anything to the footy and she'll be able to help you. And I was even playing on her last night at training, and I was in awe of some of the skills and her marking. She's just like so good. But I guess for me personally, I like to play against players like Erin Phillips and Gemma Houghton because they are, the top of the AFLW, and I think that's a really good way for me to get better is to play against those sort of players. So, playing against her, alongside her has been an incredible experience.
All right, Alex, let's talk about you on a personal front and your journey in football. Still just 19 years old, which is remarkable to think. You've had such an amazing sort of role that you've played in the side this season. You haven't missed a beat, really, so you're going to go down in history as being an ever-present in the club's first ever season of AFLW. But let's wind it back. Coming from a football-rich family, your brother Charlie playing for the Gold Coast Suns as well. So just tell us about your sort of earliest memories playing football, when the idea of being a pro at the sport at the highest level first really became the reality that you were gearing towards, and what the journey's been like ever since coming into Port Adelaide's AFLW side.
Yeah, my earliest memory of playing football was probably in the backyard and in the bedroom with my brothers Will and Charlie. Charlie now playing for the Gold Coast, as you said. And yeah, obviously they wouldn't go easy on me. They would tackle me to the ground, and I think that's sort of why I'm able to sort of stick to keep up with the pressure of the AFLW, just because of how hard they were with me in the backyard and stuff. So it started off there, and then the first girls team at Mitcham Hawks Football Club is where I first started playing, and I played there for about 5 or 6 years before I got an opportunity at Sturt in the league side. And that was also the inaugural league women's side at Sturt. So, I've been incredibly grateful for sort of those opportunities, and especially at Sturt, because I know I wouldn't be at Port today if it wasn't for my experience at Sturt. Obviously missed the last couple of years from getting drafted, but Port coming into the AFLW has really been such a blessing for me, and that was sort of a goal of mine to make it to the Port's list, because I knew they were targeting sort of sample W talent that might have not been able to make it to the Crows list. So grateful for Sturt, and grateful for Mitcham as well.
No doubt, Alex, and let's just focus in on what kind of player you are. So defender primarily, can play in midfield too. Just describe what type of player you are, Alex.
I would describe myself as a intercepting player. So I think I have good footy IQ and good marking and kicking. So I sort of use my ability to read the play to come off my forward and help my other teammates out by taking intercepts, and I've been able to implement that a few times this season, but I think one of my main focuses was improving my one-on-one defence, as I know that the forwards that I play up against are really fit and strong and fast, so just using my footy smarts against them to be able to get the upper hand has been my focus. But I'd say intercepting, and I take the kick out, so I like to be able to sort of make plays coming from the back line, which can hopefully lead up into the field and up into a goal.
There we have it. Well, Alex Ballard, it's been great having you on. Your side in action midday Sunday against St Kilda. A very big game, very important game too. Plenty at stake. It's been great learning more about the person behind the player as well. Alex, thanks so much for joining us on the Flow Friday Sports Show, and good luck with everything going forward.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.